Picture this, 1700s Europe. The wealthier you were, the taller your heels. No, seriously. Men were literally walking on stilts to flex their riches. And not just a little bit higher, we're talking 4-inch death traps glued to their fancy shoes. This wasn't just a passing fad. King Louis XIV of France literally invented this trend. The guy was obsessed with showing off. So he decided, you know what proves I'm important? Shoe stilts. And because he was the king, literally every rich dude in Europe copied him immediately. But here's where it gets really stupid. Nobles couldn't just copy the heels, they had to one-up each other. So heels kept getting taller. And taller. Some dudes had heels so massive they literally couldn't walk without servants holding them up. Imagine being a grown man needing a babysitter just to cross the room. The heels were usually made of leather, but the soles? Stacked wood covered in red fabric or paint. Red was key, it showed you could afford to dye them. The higher and redder your heels, the richer you were. It was basically Instagram flexing, but with foot injuries. The chaos was real. Fashion writers of the time complained constantly. One dude wrote that men in heels looked like roosters on stilts constantly about to topple. They twisted ankles. They broke toes. They genuinely couldn't run if danger showed up. You were basically a sitting duck in a ball gown. And get this, women were wearing them too, but men got the extra tall ones. So you had this insane arms race where grown men were basically playing who can cripple themselves most fashionably. The answer was always, whoever wore the least practical shoes possible. The funniest part? These things weren't just uncomfortable, they actually changed how men walked. They developed this weird heel gait, taking tiny little steps because their feet were basically vertical. It looked ridiculous. Nobility basically invented the high heel shuffle without realizing it. Some historians think the whole thing was basically a social test. If you could afford to wear shoes that made you useless, that proved you were so rich you didn't need to do anything. You just stood around looking expensive and miserable. Peak 1700s energy, honestly. The crazy part? By the late 1700s, the trend finally died out as people realized, shockingly, that shoes that break your body aren't actually a win. Revolutionary thinking, I know. But it took literally over a century of broken ankles for rich guys to figure it out. So there you have it, 18th century guys literally tortured their feet just to look richer. Which is absolutely wild. Now drop a comment below, is this real history, or did the AI just make it up? Subscribe to WT Historical for more bizarre history every single day.